Hello guys and welcome to my channel, Gussy's Plants. Before I start talking in this video, let me spray some of this Tramp body mist from Lush. I've been enjoying this mist from Lush for the winter because it's a very warm, relaxing scent. And I just want to be smelling nice and cozy for this video because today I'm talking about the tips and care on Hoya Pubicalyx. Something along the lines of that. Hoya Pubicalyx. So stick around. If you have this Hoya, if you probably just purchased this Hoya, maybe you're looking into buying this Hoya and you're looking for a video to see how it looks, see how it grows, if it's a good purchase for you, then stay tuned. Okay, so here's my Hoya Pubicalyx. Now I mentioned this Hoya in my Hoya's top 10 for 2020. It was one of my favorites, and decided to make a video on the tips and care about this Hoya. Now I've had this Hoya for over a year, going on 2 years now. I received this Hoya as a long tendril, and then I cut it by notes. So I made like a 7-note cutting, and I potted this notes into this pot, and it started, it rooted for me really quickly. So if you buy this plant in cuttings, it roots fairly quickly, very easy. And the reason for is because it's a hybrid between a Carnosa, like a regular basic Carnosa green, and a Pubicalyx. So you mix those two Hoyas and you get a Hoya Pubicalyx. Now, why is it called Hoya Pubicalyx? I'm not sure, but I believe whoever crossbred, whoever found this Hoya was named Ngong. So I believe this is where this Hoya gets its name, and it is native to Thailand. So it does like humidity and a lot of airflow. Like I mentioned airflow and humidity on all of my videos on tips and cares for Hoyas. So this Hoya, it's like I said, it's a crossbred between a Pubicalyx and a Carnosa, and it gives you this beautiful, gorgeous Hoya Pubicalyx, and I like the name of this Hoya, Hoya Pubicalyx. But anyways, back to the basics. I got this Hoya about in 2019, mid 2019, and I received it as a long tendril, and I made different little cuttings. I think I potted 7 different notes cuttings from that tendril. Me and my mom did it, and so we pretty much plugged in the little notes into this pot, and it took like about 2 to 3 weeks, not a month, a little bit less than a month, for the cuttings to root. And it really grew fairly quickly. However, it didn't start growing up until the following year. I think it started come spring of 2020. It started growing because the little leaves started to develop little tendrils. And so what I noticed also back in this year 2021 now is that this Hoya does not like dry winter climate. If you have this Hoya, or if you buy this Hoya during the winter, please give it lots of humidity, because if not, you'll probably lose the plant. Even though it's a Carnosa and a Pubicalyx hybrid, it's also a very vigorous grower, but it's very receptive to cold climate, because cold climate can definitely give this plant some cold damage, cold freezing damage, and it could shock the growth, and it could actually potentially kill your plant. I had this plant outdoors hanging on my trees. I have it pretty much outdoors the whole time. However, during this time in winter, when the temperatures here in California drop below 40, I have to bring it indoors, because if not, the plant it wouldn't die, but it will definitely not grow. Mind you, I'm in California, like I said. In California, we don't really get below freezing temperatures. We hardly get cold, but for us it's really cold. However, this plant can definitely tolerate the cold of California. But say you're in Michigan, Chicago, New York, even Philadelphia, your cold guys will definitely kill your Hoya, especially if you have Carnosa or like this plant in general, because it's not tolerated. It doesn't take well the cold. As far as for sun or brightness, how much to give this plant, so I have it outdoors, like I already mentioned, and this plant is very funny. So this plant you can actually teach this plant to blush little by little. So I teach this plant already to get flushed and red in color. So at the beginning, you can see one of the older leaves that I had from this Hoya was this one right here. I'll do a close up. But this Hoya right here, this leaf from this Hoya, this 3 right here, are burnt. That's because, and you can see they're like the newest, the oldest leaves from when we started growing this plant. You can see they got scorched from the sun. It got really scorched and it burnt. However, mind you, keeping it outdoors, giving the plant a lot of brightness, you will eventually make your Hoya be able to take the sun like a champ, and it will start blushing instead of burning the leaves. So you can see the new growth right here. This is completely red. It's a completely burgundy red leaf, and I think it looks marvelous. And then also here on the side, it started growing new leaves on the tips. These are blushing green leaves, and they're beautiful. You can see they're the newest leaves on this Hoya. And you can see it hasn't really grown much ever since. But like I said, it doesn't like the cold. This Hoya comes in many variations, but mostly you'll just find a regular green Hoya like this. However, if you give it a lot of brightness, it will start to grow more speckles and freckles, kind of like a Pubicalyx, but not much. There is mutations of this one's now being invented or being created, where the leaves are more splashy, kind of like a Wilbur grapes or like a Nova Ghost, where they're very, very speckled. However, this one does not really get as much speckles for me. I think it's just gonna stay like this, but I think it looks beautiful. I have a very sentimental value for this plant because if you watch my top 10 Hoyas of 2020, you guys will probably have seen that this Hoya is one of my favorites, or wasn't my favorites because me and my mom grew it together. So this was the first Hoya that we actually cut into little chunks and we rooted together, and look at how nice it looks. It doesn't look as amazing, but it still looks very cool. So, like I said, it's a Pubicalyx in a Carnosa. Like, it gets the Pubicalyx, you can see from the tendrils. It has a lot of tendrils, guys, like thousands of tendrils. And the tendrils on this Hoya are not as bold as you would think. You can see it has the tendril, but it does have leaves. Now, when you have a Hoya with a lot of tendrils just like growing like, it looks like an octopus. It just has many tendrils growing like crazy. It's looking for something to latch itself to and wrap itself onto. So when it wants to, develop long tendrils, it's because it's happy where you have it, and it wants to just keep growing and vigorously climb up things. Because you guys know Hoyas love to climb up on trees. They're like epiphytes. This is an epiphyte as well. So, like I said, if you catch what I was talking about, I had it outdoors in a tree, so it was latching itself onto my tree. And therefore, the tendrils are not as bold. They're actually full of leaves. I'm gonna show you guys an example here. This one right here, guys. This one I had it latched onto my tree trunk, and you can see how nice and full the tendril is. It's nice and full of leaves. That's because it's latched itself onto something, and therefore it started growing leaves. If I didn't have it latch itself onto something or wrap its vine onto something, it'll just be a bald vine, and that to me looks very ugly. It looks very nasty. This one right here, see, it latches itself onto the hangers from the pot, and it's actually developing little leaves right here. I'm sure you could see. However, this one over here, it doesn't have anything, and it's actually just like that, dangling. So this is not gonna develop any leaves soon, and I think I might just cut it from here. I'm gonna just sip this out because I don't like Hoyas when they look so, veiny and like octopus-like. Flowering for me. This Hoya hasn't flowered for me, unfortunately. I have yet to have a flower from this Hoya. However, online I've seen that it flowers very similar to a Pubicalyx. It's like a Carnosa type with the flowers of a Pubicalyx. Unfortunately. Before I end this video, guys, this was a very easy, loving Hoya to care for. If you guys want to buy this Hoya, I definitely recommend you guys to give it a go, and you guys will not be disappointed. It's a very fast grower. Comes spring and summer, guys. That's when it starts growing the most. Past fall and winter, and it's not gonna grow as much. It's very hard to kill this Hoya, but the only way to kill this Hoya, guys, is by not giving it or treating it from the cold. This Hoya can go a lot of time without any water. Definitely can go with a lot of no water, and it definitely cannot withstand being soaked. If you give this plant a lot of water, you'll kill it. If you give this plant less water, you probably won't kill it, so you shouldn't worry about that. I would water this Hoya maybe once every 2 weeks, to be honest. If you have it outdoors, maybe water it once every week, but if you have it indoors, once every 2 weeks, because if not, you're gonna kill it. Unless you're providing it with a lot of humidity, then you can go a little bit less than that. But definitely Don't water it as often if you have it indoors. So this was it, guys. I really wanted to make another Hoya care video because I've been making a lot of tea videos, but I do want to stress out that I do plan on making more plant videos, and this was one of the Hoyas that I love, and I will always have a nice, beautiful love for this Hoya. I'm going to definitely sell this Hoya on my Etsy shop soon, and I'm gonna start selling rooted cuttings of this Hoya. So keep an eye out if you guys are interested in this Hoya. I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, and sell some of these Hoya online. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys like about this video. And don't forget to drink water, water your plants, and spray some perfume or body mist. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Kapong karigato kusamasta. Bye bye. Don't forget to drink water and water your plants.